everyone, and welcome to Inside AWI. My name is Rebecca Matter, and I'm joined by Pam Foster. Hi, Pam.
Hi, everybody.
And today we're just doing something kind of fun. It's the new year. We're trying to figure out how to make this our best year yet. And so we had this idea to approach it with these challenges. Like, there's New Year's resolutions, there's setting goals, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But this is a fun way to just make real forward progress so that you continue to move forward towards those goals that you've set for yourself. So we're going to do it. We're going to go through the goals right now for this session, and then we'll kind of get into some ideas of specific challenges that you can do. But for our goals for today, for this webinar, is first we're going to go over kind of what your goals are and make sure that you have reasonable goals set for 2020. If we're going to achieve them, we want to make sure that they are achievable. And then we're going to talk about how you can make real and consistent progress month after month, starting with these challenges, right? Actionable challenges that get you moving forward and taking action every single day. We'll talk a little bit about that and why that's important and how that can get you that momentum that you need to achieve those goals. We'll actually give you 3 sample challenges. We're going to cover 3 big buckets of where people usually need the most help in this space, but we'll give you some ideas, but obviously you can make up your own as well using our examples. We'll go over some best practices so that you actually do the challenges and what happens along the way. And then we'll open up for Q&A and talk to you about your challenges and any insights that you might need to get you moving forward, get unstuck, anything. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to want to do is always, right, at the beginning of anything, is determine where you want to be at the end of the year. I'm not a huge goal setting person, to be honest. I'm more of a kill it every day kind of person. Every day I just try to be better than the day I was before, and that has always worked for me. But I think part of why it works is because I'm a big believer in challenges. I'm always looking for new things. I'm never satisfied, which I guess could be a good and a bad thing. When I get a big win, I'm like, great, what's next? Like, let's move on to the next thing. But it still is important to know where we want to go, not only so that we get there, but so that we don't get distracted along the way. If I don't have a clear vision of where, even though I'm not a goal person per se, like I'm not going to say I want to make this much money by this much time doing this kind of thing, I still know who I want to be, where I want to be, the important things to me, my work balance with my life, my work-life balance, things like that. I know what the picture looks like. And the reason that's important is so that when things come, the bright, shiny objects along the way, should I write a book? Should I take on this client? The little things that pop up all the time, we know, okay, well, hold on. Is that taking me forward towards that place I want to be? Or is it going to distract me? And if it's going to distract me right now, I'm going to mark it as a bright, shiny object and send it on its way. So that's why I am a big believer in visualizing kind of where you're going. And for some of you, goal setting is important. It's, if you are very much a more regimented and like specific instructions to do things, then goal setting is extremely important for you. And you're going to actually want to break it down to an even more granular level. So you'll have your goals, but we're going to break them into monthly. How are we going to get there? And then within the month to the weeks, and the weeks to the days, so you know exactly every single day what you're doing. But right now, what I want you to do is spend some time thinking about this. And you can do it right now or tonight, but really think about, what do you look like this time next year? When you and I get on this webinar and we're here talking about last year, how was it? What will you say to me? Right? How much money are you making? It's okay to talk about money. It's okay to think about money. I get a lot of questions actually about this stuff, not so much as, can I make this money? But there's more questions about money of people thinking that almost like they don't deserve it, even when they're just starting out. Like, this person wants to pay me $1,500 to do this assignment, but it's my first one. And my response is always, so what? That's okay. Or people are afraid to say, I really do want to I want to replace my job. I want to make $80,000. I want to make $150,000, whatever it is. That's okay. Say it. Be specific. Know what you're going for. Because then when a client pops up and says, I have this project for you, you can say, well, let's think about that. It's going to take this much time. They're all going to pay me this much money. Maybe that's not worth my time because it's actually not going to get me to the goal, the financial goal that I'm hoping to achieve. So be specific. How much money are you making this time next year? What will you be writing about? Whether it's a certain niche that you're hoping to get into or a certain type of project that you want to do, like case studies or white papers. What is it? Like, in a perfect world, if you could wave your magic wand, what are you doing this time next year, what does your writing business look like? Who will you be writing for? Like, think about the clients, think about the types of people. If you want to write for me, think about who the client is. Even if you can't see their face, just think about that voice, that style. What kind of business do they have? Is it fast paced? Is it more slower? Is it more independent solo professional? Or is it a big company with a lot of people, a lot of moving parts? Even though it might not end up there, having that idea of just picturing it makes it more and more real for you and helps you actually move forward. There's actually a study that I had read, I think we cover it in the accelerated program, of two groups of basketball players. One of them shot 100 baskets a day. The other group shot 100 baskets a day and then visualized themselves shooting 100 more. And consistently, the group that did that visualization exercise was more successful shooting actual baskets than the ones who just practiced physically shooting the basket. So this woo-woo visualization stuff really does work. So what do you want your life to look like when you get up in the morning, right? What is your schedule? What is your routine? Do you take the kids to school and then come home to write? Are you one of these early birds? My friend Holly and my mom, they both get up at 5 and they get to work right away. They start writing. Other people I know are much later night owls. I am not a night owl. I have to go to bed by 9:30. Otherwise, I'm just not effective. But some people really thrive. They want their whole day to themselves, and then they're going to lock themselves in their office at night and get it done. So what does your life look like a year from now? And what do you want to be celebrating this time next year? If I get on with you and say, how was last year? And you're like, it was awesome, and this is why. What is that? What's that reason? What's that thing that you want to tell me? Literally think about all of this stuff. And then, this is a key important point, write it down and post it somewhere that you can see or come back to regularly. Another idea in addition to this, just having things around you that remind you of what your intentions are, your goals are, your motivations. I have pictures, if I could flip my laptop, of my family and stuff on my wall. So many people have business books and things on their wall. I have a whole closet full of that stuff, but I keep in my eye line the things, my whys, the things that I'm doing this for. But writing down your specific what you want, actually, we'll show you this too. Pammy got me this as a gift. It's my best year ever binder. And so I have all my goals in there every single day of what I want to do, but I also have front and center in here where I'm hoping to be at the end of the year so that it does stay front and center. One way, if you want to take this a step further, is to write it down and send it to somebody to make them accountable. I found this on my shelf. It says, do not open until May 1st, 2020, please. These are her goals. She actually sent me this 2.5 years ago. I believe she turns 40 on that day. And so she has some very specific financial goals in there that she's hoping to achieve. So I'll be excited to open it with her on May 1st. But maybe do that. Write it down. Like, send it to somebody and say, this is where I want to be in January. Because there's nothing like putting that out there, right? To put that fire under your butt to make it happen. But just do it. Make sure you write it down. A lot of times, many people will say this, from Mark Ford, Michael Masterson, as many of you might know him, to a lot of the self-help greats. Writing something down definitely makes it more real and makes you commit to it. So I highly recommend doing that.
Okay. I just want to chime in real quick with a vision board is another way to do that, where you can really truly visualize it with pictures. So if you want to be able to travel at the end of the year, have enough money so that 2021 is your travel year, put pictures of where you want to go and the kind of people you want to meet and the things you want to do. I've done that, and it's shockingly comes true. Like, I did it 5 years ago, and I did a check the other day and went, oh my gosh, I'm in a warm climate. I'm doing this. I got to write from England for a while last summer. They can come true, but you have to focus on those goals. So vision board could be another way to do that. I just wanted to mention.
No, I love that. Katie actually has a box in her bedroom. And so when we have these goal conversations, because we meet every single Monday, she'll actually write it down on a piece of paper and stick it in this box. And at the end of the year, she opens the box to see how much of it comes true. And it's amazing how much of those things that we discuss that she puts in there, we hit. It's like 95% of the things that she puts in that box we get to. So I am a big believer in that as well. So then, now that you have this idea though, when you are setting goals, for those of you who do want specific goals, I do want to do a quick check on making sure that they're what we call SMART goals. And you've probably heard this from everybody. Everybody talks about this, but there is an important piece of this, and it came up a lot with our writers last year and our marketing team and the employees that I talked to. Every year at the end of the year, we do kind of a high-low session. So what were the highs, what were the lows, and what are your goals for the year? And it always came back to this one key point. I'm going to go over SMART goals really quick, but there's one specific thing in here, not the word specific, but a specific point that I think is one of the most critical pieces to making sure that you will achieve your goals. But the first one is that when you're setting a goal, it does need to be specific. Now, the first exercise I gave you where I want you to write it down, I want you to be specific as far as visualizing what it looks like. Like, write down your actual schedule that it's going to be in January, how your work day is going to be, how much money you're making, who you're working for. Be as specific as possible so that you can see that picture. But this is for actual goals. So if you're thinking, okay, I want to make $75,000 as a writer, we have to be very specific, right? We have to think about what is the specific number, because otherwise I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know, is it even possible? So be very specific. Just saying I'm going to make a lot of money is not as good as I'm going to make $75,000 this year. I'm going to make $125,000. The more specific you can be, the better off you're going, the better, not only will you hit your goal more likely, but you will also be able to, again, evaluate things as they come your way. Should I take this project on? Should I do this thing? Does it actually move me towards my goal? If it doesn't, then you can't, because it's not in line with where your goals are. So make them as specific as possible. Make them measurable. Can you actually tell that you're getting there? If I give you a goal and it's here, can you tell when you're 10%, 20%, 50% of the way there? A monetary goal is obviously a very specific thing that can be measured, but how do you measure improving your writing ability? By putting a specific measurement tool on there, like I'm going to write an editorial every week. That's specific, right? It's measurable. That has an FK score of 6 or lower. That's very measurable, right? You're able to see if you are making strides towards that goal. So make it specific and make sure that at any given point, if I ask you for a check-in, you can tell me how far along you are to achieving that goal. That's what it means by measurable. Make sure it's achievable. So making $150,000 as a writer is very achievable. Making it in your first year, not so much. You can do it, and there are outliers who do that, but typically, Bob Bly actually just wrote about this last week, typically it's about the third year. The first year, you usually can replace about half your income. The second year, you start to replace your whole. That third year is when you can make the move for the big boom, for the 6-figure mark. So, but make sure that it is achievable, that you can actually do that. It is possible to do it with what you're doing. You know, if you're writing case studies and case studies are great. They pay $1,500 for 2 pages of copy. But if you're only writing one a month and your goal is 6 figures, that's not achievable, right? The numbers don't add up. So make sure that you have control of it, that you can achieve it, and make sure it's in your control. I can't say I'm going to become the CEO of AWI this year. Well, that's not achievable. It's out of my control. That's Katie's role. Not that I want it anyways. I love my role. I love being partners. But it has to be something that you can control and actually do to achieve it. And then realistic. Is it a realistic goal? Like, I'm going to go to Vegas and make $1 million. Probably not realistic, right? So make sure that it is in the realm of possibility. And then finally, make sure that it's timely, that you have a specific time frame. We're talking within a year right now, but make sure that you set, when you're doing goals, that you have some realistic timeline. For me to say I'm going to lose 20 pounds, maybe that's possible. I mean, that could be possible. Realistically, though, am I going to lose it in the next month? No. 2 months? Probably not. 3 months? Like, make sure that it's got to be a realistic goal, and it has to be timely, that you actually have a time stamp that you're trying to achieve it in this set amount of time, which is why I also love challenges, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. The one big takeaway I want you to take away from SMART goals, though, is to define how you're going to get there. And that's that actionable. Is it actionable? Almost every single writer and marketer and employee that I met with at the end of last year gave me at least a couple of goals. And almost everyone, I had to think in my mind, but how are you going to do that? It's one thing to say, I'm going to improve response rate of X, Y, and Z, or I'm going to run more things like this, or I'm going to launch these programs. But how? Because if we don't have a plan, then it's just a wish, right? If we don't have control of it, it's not actionable. If I can't say, this is what I'm going to do to get there, then it's not actionable. And so therefore, I'm kind of at the mercy of the universe intervening. And me, I like to have control. I believe in things happening that are great to us and luck and things like that. But man, I believe in me a whole lot more. So if I can have control, and if I know that if I show up every single day, if I do the things I'm supposed to do, if I'm in control, I'm much more confident in the end result. And that's what gets me up every single day and keeps moving forward. I don't want to have to wake up every day hoping that something goes my way. I'm going to wake up every day knowing that I can do something to control what happens. So make sure that those goals that you're setting for yourself are actionable and that you think about how you're going to actually get there. For example, you could reach out to one new client every day for 30 days. If that's your goal right now, is getting clients, if you did this every single day for 30 days, there is a really good chance that you would have a client in 30 days. It could happen on day one. It could happen on day two. This is actually a little insight just in selling in general. And there is a little bit of luck as far as timing of things. If you call 30 people, there's a good chance someone's going to say yes. And you never know if it's the first or the 30th call. That's why you have to make all 30 calls. But the way probability works is that if there is a probable chance that one person out of 30 is going to say yes, that means every single time you call, there's that same chance. So the next call could also be a yes. The call for that could also be the yes. Whenever you hit a yes, and I'm not saying a physical call, it could be anything, an email, a LinkedIn connection, anything. Whenever you hit a yes, I want you to immediately reach out again. It's just part of being in this mindset, this industry. You never know if that next call is going to be a yes to, and the one after that. So every time you hit a yes, use that momentum because you feel confident. There's something about it that just makes those next ones. You don't know that the next one isn't going to also be a yes and another yes after that. It's funny though, and this is what we're about to get into, is this challenge ideas. The thought of getting clients sounds super intimidating, right? But if I told you that we're going to put up a LinkedIn profile and all I wanted you to do was reach out to one person in your industry on LinkedIn every single day, that doesn't sound that bad, right? Just pinging someone and saying, hey, and there are lots of other ways, just so you know. You don't have to reach out to anybody to get clients. We have tons of material. We have a whole session on 26 different ways to get clients, and only one of them is reaching out to call somebody or reach out to make a connection. But my point here is that it seems so overwhelming, this idea of getting clients, but the reality is it's just taking these little actions step by step by step. I am, just quick story, the most unathletic, or used to be the most unathletic person I ever knew. I always had a note to get out of PE. I never wanted to do anything sports related. I blame my mom. She was a single mom and not sports inclined herself, more into theater and arts and things like that. But I just never was exposed to sports. Fast forward to after college, I decided, because I met a guy who was a runner, that I wanted to run. I wanted to go do something big. Like I wanted to do the Disney half marathon, which seems like an amazing goal for someone who's never even ran in her life and had nothing, no experience. I had asthma. Like it was the perfect storm for failure. But I had it in my mind that I was going to do this. And so I set out and I did a challenge where you had a very specific every single day what you were supposed to do. And I followed through. I went to the Disney Half Marathon. I finished at 2 hours and 21 minutes. I was so excited. My name was in the newspaper. I went from never being an athlete and ever having any athletic exposure in my life to being in the sports section of the newspaper with my score. It was the most amazing accomplishment. And that was the first that was right at the beginning of my career with AWI. I actually have the picture of me running it, and I keep it in front of my desk all the time to remind myself that there's nothing I can't do. And if I have a plan and I stick to it and I do it every single day, if I follow through, I can achieve it. And to this day, nothing scares me anymore. I can do anything because I know I just need to show up every single day. I need to have that little bite-sized thing. I didn't try to run the half marathon on day one, right? I just followed the plan. I ran a mile. Once I could run a mile, I ran 2 miles. Then I ran 3 miles. And I just kept on until I finally hit that goal. And that's what these challenges are all about, is approaching things from these little bite-sized pieces and not trying to think about the end game. Even though we've just said, this is what the end game is, this is where I want to be in January. Now we get to like almost throw it away and come back to this very short, manageable piece in time. So Pam, if you can advance the slide. So what I want you to do now is think about those goals that you want. What is holding you back? What is it that you need right now to get you there? Because this is going to define what challenges you put together for yourself. What's holding you back right now? Are you lacking the skills? I mean, that's a very easy one. AWAI has tons of training programs that can get you the skills. Are you lacking confidence? Is that something that maybe we need to put together a challenge for you to overcome that? Maybe you need support. Maybe you need to figure out how to get more support, whether it's from the people in your personal life, whether it's from your colleagues, your AWAI members, whether it's from clients. Do you need clients? Do you need paid assignments? Do you need a specific roadmap or path? Like what, if you were to be honest with yourself and said, again, take out that magic wand, if I just had these few things, then I think this would be a whole lot easier. And I know I could move forward. Think about what those are. So you've got your goals, you've got where we're going to be next year. Now I want you to think about, what are you missing? What are the things that you need in order to get there? And then we can start creating challenges to get there. We all know that doing something every single day brings results, right? Like that calling a client every single day, like my just putting on my running shoes and going outside. Not every day was great, and it certainly was not great at the beginning, but by doing something every single day, we do get results. We can write every day. Writers write, right? So we know if we don't write, we're not going to get any better. It's not going to get easier. But doing that, exercising that muscle every single day, the more we write, the easier it is to write. If I haven't written in a few weeks, because I just went on this holiday break with my kids, didn't write at all for 3 weeks. The first time I came back to write The Writer's Life, it was a little uncomfortable. Even though I've written for so long, I still had to kind of get back in. But when I'm writing every single day and the team says I need an email like this, 30 minutes later, it's done. So writing every day, we know that brings results. It brings us speed. It brings us comfort with ideas. You can do something to build your business every single day. If you just did one thing, and it can be tiny, update your LinkedIn profile, change out your picture, reach out to a new client, research 10 clients, whatever it is. If you did one thing, if you in your journal, your work journal, every single day just said for 10 minutes, from 9 to 9:10, I'm going to do one business building activity, and you never left your office before defining what that goal was going to be the next day, that task, there's no way you would fail. You would be able to, in a very short amount of time, not only make forward progress, but see how far you've come. It would become such an easy exercise that you would be forced to move forward in your business. You can listen to a podcast. If you need confidence, if you need motivation, inspiration, ideas, listen to a podcast. Just commit to listening to a podcast every single day. Connect with people who can help you. Every day I'm going to reach out to one person who can help me. Could be anybody. It could be a friend of a friend. It could be my spouse. It could be someone at work. It could be an AWAI member. It could be somebody in one of my classes that I'm taking with AWAI. I'm just going to reach out. I'm going to make the most amazing network just by being great. Just to say, hey, how's it going? Just checking in and just kind of see what you're doing, just to make connections with people who you just don't know where it's going to lead. You could read. Writers write, and they also read. That's a big question for us when we're hiring at AWAI. We like to see their writing samples and their ideas, but we also like to ask what they enjoy reading, because people who read are full of ideas. We get more ideas simply by reading more because we're exposed to ideas. And the more we're exposed to ideas, the more our brain naturally starts to create and form ideas. I can't read a single business book like past chapter 1 without becoming overwhelmed by the amount of ideas that I have. Simply because those books are just so rich with ideas. And even if it's not a book in your industry, it's amazing how you can pull things in from other industries that are relevant to the thing that you're working on. Study companies that you admire. Study writers that you admire. What if you read one case study from the AWAI website every single day? That would have to push you forward simply because you're exposing yourself to success. You're exposing yourself to people who were in your shoes and have now done it. You're learning about all the things that they did and figuring out which ones work for you best to put together your own plan. And this last one, handwriting samples. This has been proven to be very effective at learning to write good copy, copying the writing of other great copywriters. If you're in the accelerated program for 6-figure copywriting, you have a whole book, 50 Hall of Fame letters, some of the best, most persuasive, most successful sales letters in our industry. If you wrote one every single day, what could that mean for your writing? But this idea of just doing a little bit of something every single day, we know that it brings results. So if we know that that brings results, that's where the challenges come in, right? Because we can create any kind of challenge that we want to help us get the thing that we're missing. Again, if we need to be able to write faster, write every day. That's your challenge. For 30 days, you're going to write every single day. $20, you will be faster at the end of that 30 days. If you need clients, every day for 30 days, you're just going to do one little thing, just 30 days. I'm not asking for a big commitment here. And it can be 7 days, it can be 21 days, whatever you want to do. But doing something every day brings results. And that's where you can create a challenge for yourself. You don't have to wait for some info marketing product to say, hey, do you need to be a faster writer? I've got this great challenge for you. Join us. No, just write every day. You've got a challenge. You can create it for yourself. So doing something every day brings results, and you can create that momentum that you need through basic challenges. All right, Kim, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Yep.
Show them how to get it done.
All right. So at this point now, your brain's probably spinning with, okay, what is it that I actually want to get done, and what can I get done in an actionable way that's measurable and smart and specific, and what is it? And so you might be jotting down ideas already, but you might want to wait and just see what else we have to say before you go and think about this and do what you need to do for yourself. So a lot of times people will say, well, that's all well and good. You got me all excited now, but what do I actually do first? How do I get started? So this is where we are going to present to you, ta-da, challenges. I actually just started a challenge. There's something that we have called a money-making website where not only are you writing for clients, but you can create your own website as a writer on some topic that you like, and you can build your own little side thing from that. And so my family's interested in dogs, and we're going to start doing that, a dog-focused website. And I was like, where do we start? Oh my gosh, there's so much, it's overwhelming. So you create a challenge for yourself, a day-to-day challenge where you have one individual thing to do each day, which that is easy to knock off. You don't have to think about the big, huge, oh my gosh, just think about, okay, I can do this one thing. Might take me 20 minutes, might take me an hour, but I can do that one thing. And that's what challenges are all about, is breaking it down. So let's take a look at what that is. First, the value of it is that building a whole new website is an elephant, right? There's so many moving parts. There's so many things you can think about. Oh my gosh, how do I get started? But Rebecca's favorite analogy is, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time, right? So I love that, because who's going to eat an elephant, really? But it's a good analogy. So when you think, no matter building a website, losing 20 pounds, eliminating sugar, something like eliminating sugar. Sorry, got ahead of myself, but something like that is actually very specific and doable. Like every day you can make a choice. 20 pounds, it's sort of out there in a vague way, but not eating sugar for 30 days is super specific. You will look at labels. You'll make choices of low sugar fruit versus high sugar fruit. You will look in your pantry, clean out your pantry one day. That's one thing you can do one day, is to get all the sugar stuff from your pantry out. So challenges help you focus super laser beam on what you can do each step to get to the goal that is bigger. And it also gets your muscles working in the way that you want to gear you up for keeping it going and building momentum. So let's say if you're pretty sedentary and you want to start doing a daily something that will strengthen your core, like sit-ups or something. You start with 2, and then you do 4 sit-ups, and then the next week you do 6 and 8 and 20, and you build it up over time, and then suddenly your whole body is used to that momentum, and you just keep on going. So with writing every day is kind of like that, where you are developing the writing muscle and the thinking muscle and studying the flow of winning copy, and then really getting to understand, like when we send emails to you, a lot of those emails are written by our very strategically is what I'm trying to say. There's a reason why we're writing the email in the way we are. And if you study that from the subject line to the flow to where we say click here, those are the things that are consistent. You'll see that happen again and again. And if you copy those things, you'll start by immersion really getting comfortable with that. So it just keeps you moving. It keeps you making progress. It's as simple as that. Now, more benefits of doing these challenges is that it's less intimidating. Like we said, it's hard to take on a big, huge thing like launch a website or, write a book. It's huge, right? So if you just break it into little pieces, it's a lot less intimidating, a lot less daunting to you. And then you get the benefit of new and exciting experiences as you move your way along. So that's pretty fun, and it's like little mini celebrations, little mini wins, and then you get to experience, like I said, with quick wins. It's giving you a positive direction instead of feeling hopeless, like I will never get through this. If you're just doing little challenges each day, you can get through it, and then that builds upon itself. Very exciting, right? It gets the ball rolling towards establishing and developing good habits or good patterns in your life that will get you where you want to be. There's nothing, nothing supports success more than action, I think is a quote I read recently. Something along those lines. It's not the exact quote, but, there was this series for quite a while called The Secret, and it was all about visualizing and putting positive energy out there in the universe as to what you want to come to you. Like, I would like $1 million to come to me. Well, it's not just going to come to you. You have to go buy the lottery ticket, or you have to do some work to earn that money. And then you can eventually have $1 million come to you in some way. But you can't just think about it. You really have to do. And that's the main thing here is the challenges help you get that ball rolling on doing it. So it's not necessarily about creating a new habit, because we know that, from all kinds of studies that it takes anywhere from 18 to almost a year to form a new habit. I guess the average is 66 days on average for a new behavior to become automatic, such as not having alcohol or sugar or something in your diet that you're so used to having. But it's more about developing a routine and getting steps towards something specific you want to win at or achieve. So that's really what this is about. So how do you make these challenges work for you? I mean, what is a challenge? Well, you'll start with a strategy. So let's say you want to just pick one and say, I'm going to get on LinkedIn and connect with one potential client or someone who could refer me to a client every single day. Now, one thing is on LinkedIn, if you have any kind of a past career, you're going to have people you already know, right? So you could even start there. I'm going to reach out to someone I know and tell them what I'm doing now. And that means they may either hire me or they might know someone who would be interested in hiring me. So make it strategic. And then only one. So you don't want to try and go, all right, I'm going to reach out to one client every day and I'm going to write chapters in my book. That's really hard. So it's much easier if your time-sensitive, limited 21-day, 30-day challenge is focused on that one thing you want to get done or make progress on. And then the next month you can do a different challenge that might be more about writing. But let's just say marketing is your biggest thing, getting clients, getting momentum to get clients. Focus only on that for the challenge. And then be clear what you intend to do, when, and for how long. So as we talked about in the measurable part, if you're going to reach out to someone on LinkedIn every day, maybe you make a date with yourself, a commitment in your calendar from 9 to 10 a.m. every day, or from 7 to 8 p.m., whatever works for you. I'm going to reach out on LinkedIn to someone I've known in my life and tell them what I'm doing and why I want to connect with them. And you don't just push the automatic button that says, hi, I want to connect with you on LinkedIn. No. the great thing is you can write a little message and say, here's why I want to connect with you, or ask you a question. And just say, I'm now a copywriter and I help write websites for companies. That's one option. Do you know anyone or do you know anyone who might be able to use those services? So that's simple, right? And then the person who receives it, if they know you, they'll be like, well, that's cool. I'll have to think about that. Or they might say, like I did in my past career, I had someone from a veterinary company I used to work for. He changed jobs, and the new company he worked for was launching a brand new website. So I had reached out to him. I didn't know that was happening. The timing was just spectacular. I said, Jamie, I would love to just connect with you on LinkedIn. Here's what I'm doing now. I'm writing websites for companies, and especially, I love the veterinary industry because that's where I've worked before. Do you know anyone who might be able to use those skills? And he said, oh my gosh, we're about to launch a website. Let's talk, right? So that was like dream situation. So be very, very clear and strategic in what you want to do. And then we can't tell you enough how important it is, because a lot of us writers are out here by ourselves working as sole proprietors. In many cases, you might feel like you're in a vacuum sometimes, but you're really not, because with AWAI, you have a whole family and a bunch of accountability partners and peer buddies to tap into at any time. So try to find another writer or someone in your life who is supporting you in your mission here, who you can, tell them what you're doing, and they can help you be accountable. Like Rebecca was saying, Katie and she are accountable to each other. Mindy was sending off the goals that she has, so she's accountable to Rebecca. Maybe there's someone in your life, and sometimes our family members aren't the best people because they don't really understand what we're doing here, but it could be a fellow copywriter that you meet online through one of our online communities or something like that. I know several of our writers who really succeed are part of a peer group that they have meetings regularly and they're accountable to each other, and that they swear by that for making progress. So I really hope that you'll do something like that to find your people, and they can hold you to it. And then celebrate the wins along the way. So let's say you have a 30-day challenge for yourself and you get to day 7 and something cool happens from an action you took. Take a moment to celebrate that. That is awesome. You want to reward yourself. It keeps you motivated, and it's important to recognize that progress is happening. There's nothing more exciting than that. I mean, Rebecca said after she ran the race, she was in the newspaper. What a celebration that is, right? So make sure you stop and realize that you are making progress, and give that a moment of celebration. Why not? And then if you fall off your path during your challenge, don't fret. You can pick up the next day or start a new challenge. If you find, okay, I was going to go in this path, but after day 8, I realized I actually hate this. I hate this focus that I was on. I realized I don't want to focus on this. I want to focus on that. So you can start a new challenge on the new focus. It's okay. We're all human. I mean, I actually, back in my freelance career, started thinking I wanted to write financial copy, and I gave it everything for 3 months. And then I realized one day, I don't really like this at all. I want to write about animals. I want to write about pets. So boom, shift gears, start a new website, petcopywriter.com at the time, totally shifted gears. It changed everything for me. I was so much happier. So you have the freedom to do that. Nobody's going to go, well, wait a minute, you didn't finish this path. No one is going to do that. If you have an accountability partner and they're supportive of you, they will understand if you suddenly go, you know what? Now that I've gone down this path a few steps, I'm realizing this really isn't for me and I want to do something different.
Can I weigh in on that one real quick too?
Yeah, sure.
It's interesting. My mom used to always tell me life is too short to read a bad book. So after you get 100 pages in, if it's not a good book for you, it's okay to stop it. You don't have to finish it. And then I love challenges. I'm always doing health challenges and writing challenges and all this stuff because they do make me have forward progress. And I've done a lot of research on them. I've given up challenges on day 2, on day 4, when I realize this isn't for me, especially some health-related ones. My brain, the way it works, it's like, I don't think this is for you. Why would I keep doing something that was not for me? If it's not going to forward towards my goal, it's okay to quit. But here's the interesting thing. In doing this research about challenges and about making changes in your life, I came across this scientific kind of the process for change in life. And it said that the people who are the most successful are not necessarily the people who finish things like this, but are always looking for solutions. Right. And I think that's why this idea resonates with me. Instead of me just having this big grandiose plan of eating this elephant and having to eat it one bite at a time, which I literally say all the time to our team, feeling overwhelmed. What if you could just chunk it together so that you don't have to eat the elephant, but rather like you make a plan for eating the leg and it's just the leg. It's like, we're just moving forward. Like, I got to get out of the animal. We're not going to eat.
I know.
Forward progress towards something. So again, like if you wanted to lose weight and you want to lose 20 pounds and you want to lose it this year, if I say, great, work out every day for the year and you'll lose weight. Okay. There's a good chance you're going to fall off. That's what a New Year's resolution is all about, right? You make this big thing, you have a plan, but it's hard to commit to something for a very long time. But if I said for the next 21 days, I want you to try Pilates. We're going to do Pilates together. We're going to learn how to do it 21 days, blah, blah, blah. Great. At the end of 21 days, you might love it and you might continue on and keep on going, which might get you to your goal at the end of the year. But at day 21, you're like, that was good. What's next? I'm like, let's pick up running. Let's go try running for 21 days. And we're going to do that. Well, great. We're going to run. We're going to run. At the end, you might love running. You might keep on running. 21 days later, you might say, okay, hate that. What's next? I'm like, let's try CrossFit. And we just keep trying things. There's no failure there, right? I don't have to be a runner. I don't have to be a Pilates person. I don't have to be a CrossFit person. But that connection of all of those challenges, just doing the challenge is moving me forward. I didn't make a commitment. I didn't sign up to become this big thing or have to do. I just did these little challenges, and connecting them all together will get you to that end goal. And the same goes here. So if you find one that you hate, if you fall off, if life steps in the way, whatever, don't beat yourself up. Challenges are fun, and you get to capitalize on the fun, which is that's starting the challenge. So
I couldn't agree more. If it's not fun, move to something else. If you're really dreading it because you felt like, oh, well, I said I had to do this now for myself. If it's not fun, find something else. So I agree with you totally. And I've actually put down books halfway through or started watching a movie and I'm like, you know what, I don't even know if this is an Oscar nominated movie, but I am so bored. I'm done after 20 minutes, so it's okay to do that. All right. So now, we've got 3 specific challenges for you to accomplish in 30 days. All right. So whether you decide to start at the first day of the upcoming month or you decide to start tomorrow, map out 30 days for yourself and see if you can do this. The first one is about mindset. And Rebecca, I'm going to have you talk about this one if you don't mind, because I'm not really one who does meditation that much. I know it works for a lot of people. I have other means for myself to get excited about what I'm doing. So that really hasn't been part of my life. If you don't mind going through.
Sure. So I fell into this a few years ago and I never believed in people did, they meditate. I'm like, that's great. That's not me. I'm way too active in the brain. I have too much of a monkey mind. I love the fact that I multitask and I think about all these things at one time. And then I was interviewing one of our experts. Her name is Dr. Annette Anchild. And she was building out this meditation for writers program for us. I'm like, yeah. So I'm interviewing her on the cameras at boot camp. And all of a sudden the cameras go off. And I was like, thank you so much for the interview. And she leans over and she puts her hand on my leg and says, there's a better way. I'm like, I'm sorry. She's like, your life looks pretty good. And it looks like, you're successful, but I can tell you there's a better way than how you're approaching it right now. You're having to work really hard to get this success. I was like, okay. So she taught me how to meditate. And I will say, it's not that I'm more successful or less successful. It's just a lot easier. I don't really have a lot of like those moments where you're gripping the side, like trying to figure out how am I going to do this? I'm like, I roll with it. Like, let's go. We had some major challenges this week. I meditated every single day. And every single day, the team's like, what about this? What about this? What about this? I'm like, let's do this. We got it. And yes, that is my personality to kind of air traffic control things. But I felt zero stress from it. I don't take that stuff on. I just am able to flow a lot easier. I can come up with writing ideas faster. I can just do things without a lot of effort, the more effort that I was putting in before. Don't believe me, it doesn't matter. There's a Buddhist philosophy or a Buddhist saying that says, don't believe me, just try it. I highly recommend everybody tries meditation, but meditation can be anything. It can be looking at a wind chime outside your house. It can be just sitting quietly in a room. The idea is just to chill out and take the happiness in 10 minutes of not having to do anything except for just be there. Thoughts pop up in your head, you just move them aside. And there's lots of different ways that you can approach meditation. I really like this app called Headspace. They have a great free 10-day tutorial that just walks you through how to meditate. Because for a lot of us, you sit there quietly and your brain's like, I want to think about this and that. And it just kind of freaks out on you. But Headspace has a great tutorial. And then we have the one that Dr. Annette Anchild created, 21 meditation series. It's a challenge. It's 21 days. You listen to it every single day. And the cool thing about it is it's a collection of meditations. So along with showing you how to meditate, there's a meditation for writer's block. There's a meditation for self-doubt. There's a meditation for dealing with clients. There's a meditation so that once you finish the series and you've addressed all these things, 2 months later, when all of a sudden you have writer's block, you go back to that meditation. You already know kind of what the process looks like. So you almost have a library of meditations that are very specific to writers. So that's it's on our website under the catalog. I can put a link in. And if anybody ever has a question about, I'm not a meditation expert, but I am a believer in it just because it has worked for me. But for those of you who need confidence, clarity, stop second guessing yourself, judging yourself, your writing, all that stuff, meditation can help. So it's a great challenge that I recommend people give a shot.
Cool. I love it. And I guess my form of meditation, I actually do. It's my dog. I spend a lot of time, having fun with him, and that helps clear my head and focus on something that is beyond my writing or anything like that. So maybe
I heard something great from somebody else who just said, it's whatever works for you.
Yeah.
Right? Who's to say what it is? Mm-hmm. It just is the thought of getting to a place where you're not all over the place.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It makes us panic and make bad decisions, and we get scared and fear. And fear is one of the strongest emotions that you can have, and it's the one that will stop you from doing anything. It's good in some cases, right? Like, don't step in front of a moving bus. In other cases, it's bad. Like, don't put yourself out there. Don't take that program. Don't submit that copy because you don't think it's good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. That's where it starts to take hold and be a negative thing. So something like this can get you out of that.
Awesome. Okay. Now, as writers, we also wanted to, of course, offer you a writing challenge, writing every day. Now, we have several ways to do this. The first one is we developed a series of 38 video prompts that are writing prompts, and that you'll find them at this link here. They're from PWAI, which is Professional Writers Alliance. That's a membership site that's part of AWAI. And it's a variety of different prompts, all kinds of different ways to just get your brain going on writing, so you don't sit there with blank page syndrome. You actually have something to write about. And they're super fun. I did one of them or a couple of them, and it was really fun. And we have Nick Osborne and Heather Robson and all these people who teach and do our programs for us. Many of them did a video too. So I really highly recommend checking them out. They're free, and I think they're a lot of fun. And you can pick out of the 38, the 30 that resonate with you, but try to do one every day. They're short. I think 5 to 10 minute videos, not even that long. I'm trying to remember now. Some of them are longer, but they're all just focused on one little nugget of something that you can write about, so you won't be ever out of ideas. Another one is to copy winning samples from our products. So every program in AWAI's product catalog has a landing page. We call it the catalog page, and then if you scroll down to the very bottom, it says either order it or learn more. If you click on the Learn More, you'll go to a sales page for that program. And that sales page is our current control for that program. So it's our current winning copy for that program. So if you just look at those, these are examples of copy that works. You don't have to go try to find them anywhere else. We've got them all right there for you. Over almost 100 products, right? So that's a great place to check out what's working, how the headline looks, how the flow works, where the call to action is, how we offer proof and benefits and irresistible testimonials and all that good stuff behind our programs that have been working for people for years. So I highly recommend you check that catalog out. And if something sparks your interest, go to the bottom of the catalog page, click the Learn More, and you'll see the whole sales letter that you can copy, handwrite, really understand. Then also, if you do own our accelerated program for six-figure copywriting, we have two bonuses. One is the Hall of Fame collection, which is the classic collection, everything from the Wall Street Journal letter that every writer should know to, all kinds of classics from the top writers who've influenced all of us. And then more recently, we connected current working copywriters to get some of their winning samples, and they cover more of a variety. So the Hall of Fame collection is more of the classic direct response mail pieces or ads, like print ads. The modern selection is online sales letters, emails, video scripts, all kinds of things online, as well as mail. So take a look at either one, but you can find samples to copy there and follow. They all worked really well. They're all some of our industry's top success stories. So they're great to copy. And Mark Ford teaches this, but I've heard it over and over again. As a matter of fact, we had a mastermind session the other day with Pauline Longdon. So everyone from Mark Ford, who founded AWAI with Katie and others, to today, just the other day, a newer writer, they swear by this. Hand copy those winners. Hand copy from the very first headline word all the way to the bottom. Now, some of those are 42 pages long, and you might go, I can't do that. Give it your best shot. It's just so worth it. And you start to really just get it ingrained into your everyday practice, how the flow works. And I swear, so many writers swear by that I just wanted to make sure I bring it up, because it really can make a huge difference. Rebecca, I don't know if you want to add anything to that, but it's one of our hallmarks of what people find works for them.
No, it's a proven lesson. I mean, it's not even just AWI, but psychologically, that connection of head to hand that's why we don't type them. Everybody always asks, so I have to write them or can I type them? There is a definite brain pattern that forms when you write something by hand. So don't believe me, just try it.
Yep, exactly. And then finally, we encourage you. So AWAI is looking for writers all the time. We have several publications online that we put out. So we have Wealthy Web Writer, we have Professional Writers Alliance, we have the Barefoot Writer, we have B2B Writing Success, we have our own The Writer's Life. We are constantly putting out content that will help our members. So believe it that we need constant ideas and new copy. So if you want to work with us, I encourage you to make your challenge writing an article for AWAI, and look at what we put out and get familiar with our voice and the flow of our articles, and then just write something every day. Write an idea for an article every day. Now, you don't have to submit them all, because that would be difficult probably, but you will. If something really sparks your interest, like let's say the first few days you write something that you go, well, this was for me, this was helpful to me to get going. But then on day 5, you're like, wow, now this might be something that would help the AWI membership. Submit it to us. We have a link right there, Write for AWAI, and we love to see fresh ideas. So please do that. It could turn into a writing assignment for you, a paid assignment. So, if you want, there's practice, and then there's actual work you can turn in for an assignment and a possible gig. So that's another part of the challenge that you could try. So you have lots of options here for the Writing Everyday Challenge. I hope that I've given you some, spark some interest, so that you're not going, what do I write about? Oh my gosh, here are several ways you can write every day. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. This one is also good. I call it free journaling. There's a book called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron that's pretty much a classic for anyone who wants to unleash their creative spirit and really try to come up with a regular flow of writing. So she advocates writing 30 minutes a day for 30 days. Actually, her program is 12 weeks, but you could try it for 30 days and see how it goes and then keep it going if you want to. Her book actually walks you through that process, but it's very similar to what we're talking about here. Just devote time and focus to doing this every day, because that's how traction and progress happen. Okay, third challenge. This is about getting clients and making more money. If you want to set your business up over the next 30 days and actually start getting clients, this is one of the things that we advocate. It's something called the Writer Starter Kit, and it shows you how to go from who am I writing for? What am I writing? What kind of clients? What kind of projects? It walks you through those decisions, and then how to go ahead and get started, how to position yourself as a writer, a professional writer in a certain market, and the types of projects you want to offer, and what sets you apart in all the copywriters out there. So, quick example. I write for on the side of my AWAI job, I write for the veterinary industry. I love the veterinary industry. I love animals. I used to work for a company that manufactures equipment, and I used to work for a veterinary association. So clearly that's who I want to write for. What do I want to offer them? I know I want to offer web services, web copy, email, anything related to the web. What sets me apart? Not only my career background, but I love animals. I have my dog at my feet over here. I'm really interested in how animals help people. So these are the things that I want to write about. And so the Writer Starter Kit helps you go through that kind of thinking for you. What do you want to write about? What charges you up every day? Who'd you like to work with? And then how can you present yourself in an awesome way to attract clients that would love to see you, love to meet you and hire you? So that's one thing. You also can decide, well, I know what I want to do, but I don't really have a website yet. So we've created a challenge here to create a website for your business. It doesn't have to be insurmountable or daunting. We actually have a program called Build Your Website in 4 days. So that gets you started, and then you can build from there. So just 4 days gets you the information you need to then create your own 30-day challenge and do something every day that fits into that model. Okay, let's see. And then, oh yes, we have some expert getting client challenges are coming up. They're live, so that they're not like, you can't just sign up anytime. We open the door to you to sign up when they're going to be offered live again with our expert guiding the way. So in 5 days, we have Michael Katz, who is a freelance consultant. He helps small businesses and freelancers market themselves and get clients. He's going to be walking you through a 5-day program of building a pipeline of referrals where clients come to you, which is my favorite thing. I like it when clients come to me. I don't want to chase clients. And then Elise Bennon in February is going to go through a 21-day challenge of building your repertoire on LinkedIn and reaching out to clients there, which, boy, I'll tell you, today LinkedIn is the place where business people are and people who would hire you. So she walks you through how to make LinkedIn your amazing go-to place to connect with clients. We'll be sending out announcements when these challenges are open. I think the Michael Katz one is open right now, and they can find information on our website, yes, for that one? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's
okay.
on our homepage, so we're going to have to grab the link from there because I don't have one actually.
Okay. But if you go to our homepage, awai.com today.
Wait, can you go ahead to the homepage and then grab that link and stick
Yep.
it in the chat? If
Yep,
you guys,
I will do.
Thank you. Those of you who are on live, we actually this will probably be closed if you're watching it in the recording because it ends today. But we have this amazing 5-day challenge with Michael Katz where he's going to show you, like Pam said, how to build a pipeline of assignments that come to you. And he's going to be with you. The reason we do these challenges live is the expert is actually part of it the whole time. And in this case, not only does he teach you for the 5 days as part of the Facebook group and making sure that you're doing all you're supposed to be doing, he then stays with you for another 30 days afterward to make sure that you're getting the results that you're hoping for. And what we did with this one that's a little bit different is we offered up what's called a beta test opportunity. So instead of paying the full fee, you just make a small down payment. You get to go through the whole thing. And then if you're happy and you want to keep going, then you make the rest of the payments. And if not, you just let us know and you actually get all of your money back anyways. So you could learn, it's an odd program for us in that we're guaranteeing it for a year. I mean, it really is like a zero risk, no brainer thing. If you need help getting paid assignments, I would definitely do this because you don't have anything to risk. It's not like you're even risking time. It's not 30 days. It's 5 days of effort. And what you will learn will basically set you up for the year to have the assignments that you need to build your business. So I'm very excited about this. The reason we're doing this crazy guarantee and this beta test offer is it's a brand new program. And my end game for it, spoiler alert, is trying to make it the best program that we have on the topic and make it so that people can go through it in the future, knowing that the method is proven. So we're trying to get as many people into it as possible so we can have tons of success stories, which, as you all know, makes it a lot easier down the line to sell a program when you can prove how successful it is. So if you want to be a beta tester, it's sign up. I think it goes until midnight tonight. We had a lot. We just switched it over to this opportunity yesterday, and the response is going great today. So it all of a sudden jumped way up. And so we're going to close it at midnight just to make sure that Michael can handle everybody that's going through this program.
Great. Okay. So now we're going to wrap it up with our best practices to succeeding with challenges, and then we'll open the floor for questions. But really, as we're saying, this is a recap, honestly. It's pick a very discrete timeline that is realistic for you. So 20 days or 30 days is a really good benchmark to put together for you. And then you can revisit at the end of that period and see how you want to go forward. But February has an extra day in it, so you might choose to start in February. And then book time with yourself every day. This is critical. I can't emphasize this enough because it's too easy to let this get away from you. And then you feel like, oh my gosh, I've already missed 3 days. I might as well give up. So try to find a time that's yours. Instead of watching Jeopardy, which I love, take that time to commit to working on your business, your writing skills, your momentum. And I'm just using Jeopardy as an example, but there's got to be some time in your day that you can maybe not go on Facebook or not watch TV or not do something that is taking you away from achieving your goals, and focus on this goal that you have or this challenge. Eliminate distractions like dog, family, TV. What I mean by that is before I got on board online to do this class today, I took my dog out so he'd be all set while I'm doing this class. There's no distraction. He's sleeping over there. He's cool. If you can set up your life so that that one sacred time is yours every day to work on this, that would be ideal. And if your family supports it and all that stuff, all the better. Mark your progress every day. So I tend to be a list maker, and then I check off as I go along. If you're doing the challenge, you could say what I'm going to do day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and then check it off as you do it, which is great because then you can see the progress you're making. Pretty cool. And then again, celebrate those little milestones. You know, if you reach day 5 and you're going, oh my gosh, I love this. This is working. Celebrate that. That's really that's how to keep it going and build the excitement. And then again, find someone to be accountable for, or announce it to others at the very least that you're on a mission to get this done. Like you do with a diet. Like, I'm going to eliminate sugar from my diet in all of February. So everyone in my life, don't show me cookies and candy and cake and brownies and all that stuff that I want. Just don't do it. Support me on this, okay? Because I'm going to commit to this. It's awesome to have people, you know, be in your corner for this kind of thing. So that's what we highly advocate. And with that, it's time for Q&A. So Jade, maybe you can help us. I haven't been looking at all because I've been running the slides. I'm going to stop the slides now.
You've been doing a good job answering the questions. Nora says, what if you're still in the accelerated program but really interested in Michael Katz's program? It's so overwhelming when you are still learning and getting all these great other learning opportunities. great question. And somebody else had commented about being a perpetual student. We're always learning last year. And that's a very common place to end up because learning is easier. It's fun. It's safer, right? We love to read. We love to expand our mind. And we feel like we're making forward progress that way. And we are. But the reality is if we don't have people paying us for it, it's just a hobby. It's not a business. So the way I look at it, though, is not, I don't want you caught up in there's one more, just one more program, just one more webinar, just one more. There's always going to be one more thing. The only exception to that is when it's business building and skill building. So I don't want you taking multiple skill building programs at one time because that's hard. And you just end up in this cycle of like more. When the reality is, you don't know what your clients are going to need. So you need basic skills. You need the accelerated program because that's your foundation in persuasion. And no matter what type of writing you do, it's going to make you better at that, whether it's case studies, white papers, websites, anything in any form, you're going to be better if you understand persuasion. So everybody should go through the accelerated program. And then from there, it's really like just start going through the projects that you enjoy, knowing there's a really good chance a client's going to call you and say, hey, Pam, that's great. I love that you write emails. Can you write this case study for me though? Because that's what I'm working on right now. Pam is going to say, absolutely, I can. I have time in my schedule just a few weeks from now. She's going to hang up the phone, go to AWI, go to the catalog, take the case study program, learn how to write case studies, and figure it out. We don't know what the clients are going to need. And the beauty of the industry today is that clients don't just need a sales letter. 20 plus years ago when AWI started, that was the opportunity. So copywriters could make a lot of money as a writer, but that was pretty much it. You wrote a few sales letters, long, big, intense sales letters, but you got paid really well and that was it. But you had to have good amount of clients and writing a lot of sales letters. These days, companies need so much content and so much copy across all of these marketing channels. You only need a few clients because they have a never-ending list. Ask anybody who works for me, and I employ over a dozen freelancers, and they are all, my email always goes to them, do you have any more time for me? And all of them are at capacity. I can't take anything else on and yet I can't get all the copy written that I need written. It's crazy, every one client, how much they're going to need you. So don't worry about learning it all. You have AWI, we've got your back. We have all the programs you're going to need. Just get out there and get clients. Which is why I always say, go ahead and do something that's skill building. Remember, business building and skill building, always have those two buckets filled. Always be learning a skill and always be doing something to build your business. The Michael Katz thing, it's not a big commitment. It's 5 days. It's going to be little tiny assignments that are only a couple of minutes each day. So you'll go through it. Worst case scenario, you learn a bunch of stuff. You decide you're not ready to get clients yet. That's okay. You just put pause, but at least you have the material. You have the understanding. When you're ready, you'll go back. Everything at AWI is recorded. Everything is available for life. Everything, every time it gets updated, is available to you for life. Those of you going through our companion series right now, we've been doing that 10 years. People who signed up 10 years ago have had access to the new program every single time for the last 10 years. We update all the materials because we want you to have the latest and greatest. So even if you get out there, even if you do the Katz thing, Michael Katz, and 5 clients call you and you say no to all 5, that's okay. You're going to make that decision, what's best for you based on your goals, based where you are right now. But won't that give you so much confidence in knowing, hey, I can see that these paid assignments are going to come through. I don't have to take anything that comes to my door because there's plenty of things, there's abundance that will come once you learn how to work those systems, once you learn how to use LinkedIn, like Elise Bennon teaches you, once you learn how to do what Michael Katz is going to teach you, you can't unring that bell. That lesson is in your head, and that will give you the confidence that you need to move forward. So I don't want you guys signing up for like every program under the sun, and I don't want you taking every program under the sun. You can have a plan. You can sign up for programs because they're on sale. Let's say, I know I want to write case studies. Great. I'm finishing the accelerated program. I order case studies. I'm going to move it right under there. And when I finish, I know what I'm doing next. That's fine. That's your skill building path. And then on your business building path, I'm going to take Michael Katz's program, and I'll make a decision if I want to take the client on or not. You don't have to say yes to anybody. So hopefully that helps. You're muted for me, Pam.
Very sorry about that. I was answering questions and I didn't want you to hear my typing. So Norma says, why is handwriting the sample letters better than typing them?
I don't have the psychology behind it, but if you research it about the handwriting and the brain wiring, I am not a neurological expert, but I do geek out on that stuff. If I would go back in time, if I had to pick a different career, I would probably be somewhere in psychology or neurology, but the brain patterns are so interesting to me. But there's something about handwriting that just connects your brain in a different way. I want to answer this one out loud, even though it's small. Jay Taylor said that he wrote in a proposal about an article, and the editor, Mindy, said that she was reviewing it. How long should I expect to wait for a yes or no answer? And my response is to follow up. Always follow up. Remember how I told you I like things that are in my control, not that I have to hope and wish that somebody does something for me. I'm not putting anybody in my driver's seat. I'm going to always follow up. Even when somebody says, great, I'm reviewing this, I'll get back to you. No need. I'll follow up with you on Thursday. See if you have any questions. I take that ball right back every single time because, again, I want to control. I know if I'm in control, I'm going to succeed. I can't trust that somebody else is going to push me forward at the same speed that I want to be pushed forward. So I'm going to take control. Always follow up with your clients. Just a good lesson across the board.
I'm typing an answer. So if you haven't heard yet, we will have a replay of this with the slides and the transcript on that Inside AWAI page. All you have to do is go to awaianytime.com and just type in Inside AWAI, and you'll find that whole catalog of everything we've done that's free here, like this one. And you just click on it, and it goes to the page with the replay video, the slides, and the transcript. It takes a few days, and Monday is a holiday, so be patient with us, but we will get that up there in the next few days, working days. All right, let's see.
You guys are so fun. Ingrid saying, I just love how this is really interactive, and I love that we do these live. Like, great tip for handwriting. Was about to do the companion series exercises. No laptop. Good
no
job.
laptop.
And Lynn says it builds new neural pathways. So there is some neurological research that proves it. She also says, what a relief to hear that we can go through updated items once we've subscribed to a lesson. Yes, we call them living programs. We made this change about a decade ago because things are happening so fast. And the original world that I started in scientific publishing. Maybe that's where that brain geeky stuff comes in. But I started in scientific publishing, and back then when we published a new edition of a book, the first people that you mailed promotion to were all the people who bought the last one. And you sold them the updated edition. So it could be like a, forensics book, and new things were discovered, and the forensic scientists had to know about them, but they didn't give them the next edition. They said, well, that edition that you have on your bookshelf, that's garbage now. You can go ahead and burn that one, and you have to buy this new one. And I didn't like that. I don't like the idea of making people have to pay to stay updated on the things that they've already paid for. So we introduced something called living programs, and that's where anytime you make an update, add a bonus, anything, you get it free, and it's for life. And we've been doing it ever since, and we will continue to do it for life.
I'm typing madly. All right. Oh, someone has been submitting ideas to us, Cynthia, with headlines, and they haven't been. She hasn't gotten much response from us, and I said, don't let that discourage you, because sometimes it's just not quite what we're looking for, or the timing wasn't right for the topic. So, and sometimes it's a matter of, I'll give you an example. John Stolzfus, who's one of our big success stories, he's doing incredible work. He submitted spec assignments to 6 different companies after a job fair once. So he submitted 6 different ideas to different companies that he thought he could help, and he didn't hear anything back for ages. And then in about 6 months, one of them, Eagle Publishing, reached out to him and said, oh, we've been so busy, but actually we really do like your concept, and we want to work with you on it. So you just never know what's going on in the background with the client that you're trying to work with. So I don't want you to be discouraged if you're not hearing back. It can be just a matter of a lot of factors on our end of the timing and what we're promoting that month. And does this fit that? And, is it right for our audience? And I highly recommend that you really do study our article style and our voice and our audience, and make sure the articles are going to be helpful in nature, not sales letters, because articles are more about helpful tips and ideas versus selling something. So if you really look at that and keep thinking, I imagine you'll get there at some point, and don't be discouraged, but we do get a lot of ideas that aren't quite the right fit. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. All right, guys. Any other questions? Let's see.
They want the Michael Katz
about the Michael Katz beta course. So this is the Getting Clients or Getting Paid Assignments to Come to You program. It's on our homepage, and we will grab the link and put it in there as well. It's also in the chat right now, and it does end today. So if you're looking to sign up for that, I think it's like a $97.50 is the down payment for the first payment, but all the details are there. If you click through, you'll be able to see it, and it starts on Monday. So, and even if you can't make the live sessions, don't worry, we record everything, and you'll be able to go through it at your own pace. You'll still have access to the Facebook group, you'll still have access to Michael Katz, and be able to ensure that you're moving forward. Evelyn says, I am not goal-oriented. Never have been. It seems when I set goals, I will start and then quit somewhere along the line. That's very typical. I'm guessing that's the majority of people. Right now, I've taken the accelerated program, and after a while, I took the companion series, which I'm now, she's taking again now, great. Then I've purchased a few other programs in order to learn the skills I need, but I'm still stuck. So we have a webinar, Jade, if you wouldn't mind grabbing it from the member page, or from the Inside AWAI page, on building a roadmap. And so for those of you who have programs or have ideas of where you're going, even though it doesn't have to be such a specific step-by-step, I do recommend creating some form of roadmap, whether it's the programs that you have or not. It'll identify maybe where the holes are or what your plan is. So even if you bought 4 programs and you just didn't quite have a plan then, that's okay. Go make a plan now and figure out what the best order is to put them in. If you get stuck, call our member success team. They're so helpful, and they can kind of help you say, this is my plan, what do you think? And they'll be able to say, I would do it in this order instead. The key with all of this, though, guys, is just getting out there and finding paid assignments. There are millions of companies. It seems so vague and hard. It's just because you've never done it before. And once you start doing it, and that's what these challenges are so great. That's why this Michael Katz thing is so great. The one with Elise Bennett, or just the do something to build your business every day for 30 days. There's a whole article on our website about things that you could do. Once you start to do those things and they become second nature to you, it's like, why wasn't I doing this all along? This isn't that complicated. It only feels scary and feels complicated because you've never done it before. It's like meditation. When they were telling me, oh, if you meditate, it's going to be, I'm like, come on. You're telling me that if I sit there for 10 minutes every single day, it's going to change my life? Well, it changed my life. But I'm not saying that's going to happen for everybody. But now looking back, why didn't I? And I'm not even saying I'm perfect at it. I fall off meditation all the time. But whenever life does kind of get a little bit and I feel like I'm like, why is this harder? And like, where can I come up with these ideas? When I tend to reach out and say, why is this happening? The response is always, are you meditating? That's the first step. So like with anything, you just have to get used to flexing these muscles. So whatever your ailment is, if it's being not sure if you're going to make it, scared of getting clients, paid assignments, am I good enough, all that stuff. You've just got to figure out something that you can do every day that proves that you can start moving forward. Don't worry about being blah, blah. All you got to do is land your first paid assignment. If that's where you are in the roadmap, that's all you're looking for right now is your first paid assignment. You don't need to take 20 programs to land one paid assignment. You need a basic foundation in persuasion, which you have if you've been through the accelerated course. And then you're going to figure it out. Now, are you going to get better? Yes. There's stuff that I wrote with AWI when I started 16 years ago. Actually, it was 14 years ago that I started writing for AWI because I thought, I want to live the writer's life. I've been through the accelerated program. I should be doing stuff. And I wrote stuff, and it was good enough for us to publish at the time. But man, am I glad that I got married and I have a different name now because I am mortified by the stuff that I put out there. Even 5 years ago, I read stuff that I wrote then, now, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just violated so many principles. What was I thinking? It's because I didn't know those things back then. You don't learn it all. It's not like there's this copywriting box and you open it and you learn all of it inside and then you're ready to go and that's just it. And you're just going to be a copywriter from here on out. it's this incremental. The first thing that you learn, it's going to feel huge. When you go through the accelerated program, that's huge amount of information. It's big because you've never done it before. And it feels so big. It's like climbing a mountain. That initial piece goes so much faster. You gain so much distance at a much faster rate, right? Because the terrain is more level. But as you get up the mountain, right, it starts to get steeper. So the distance that you go is smaller. Every hour that you spend, you're going less distance, but you're getting higher and higher to that peak. The incremental changes that happen later on are smaller, but that's what happens, and they're more impactful, and you're moving up. Same thing happens with copywriting. Just get through the accelerated program. You have enough skills. Are you going to be the best copywriter in the world? Of course not. It's going to take, 10,000 hours to become an expert in anything, but just keep adding on. Just keep taking bites of that elephant. Keep making incremental changes. Keep taking incremental steps. And you will look back every year and go, oh my gosh, look how far I've come. 5 years from now, you're going to be like, why didn't I do this sooner? So I'll get off my box now, but you just got to try. You just got to do things. You just got to move forward. I know it can feel scary when you're first starting out, but just remember and keep telling yourself it's because I've never done this before. And that's why it feels that way.
What are we laughing at?
I just got off my soapbox and
oh, that's okay. Get on your soapbox.
I just love this stuff so much, and I hate, we get to talk to so many success stories every week. We answer all of those emails of people saying, why didn't I do this sooner? And so when we're in these calls where it tends to be more of you are newer to our world or haven't had success yet, I just want to reach through the computer screen and grab you and say, you can do this. You just have to keep on stepping forward. And stepping forward is, forward progress, not just consuming, but moving. Put the things that you're consuming in an order and make sure that business building bucket is full of something, that you're doing something to build your business. And that way it will force you to move forward. Yay, Kelsey says, I now have hope for making success this year. So we'll do this webinar next year, same time.
Yeah.
Like a reunion. And everybody comes back and says, here's my letter of what I was going to be doing. And now this is what I did.
I think we're good. I got some thank
Okay, guys, so we have 5 more minutes, then we've got to call it. We can do this thanks to AWAI awesome team.
Yay.
All right, guys, lots of thank you and shout outs and kindness. Well, we appreciate you. We appreciate your taking the time to be here today. We don't take that lightly. It means so much to us, and that's why we're happy to show up. You'll hear it a lot, but if there's anything that we can do to help you succeed, everybody is so different, but the path is somewhat the same. It's, got to learn some skills, got to get some clients, you keep on moving forward, but we're here. If a question comes up, something you don't understand, an opportunity comes up that you don't know how to take it, if there's any way that we can help you, you can count us in. I'm going to send you a follow-up email with the playback and stuff, and then I'll have an address in there, but I'm askrebecca@awai.com. I answer all of my own emails, but just send me the ideas and we'll put together an Inside AWAI session. I hope this was valuable for you. And as you go through these challenges, we'd love to hear from you. We're always active in our LinkedIn and Facebook groups, and we'll be here again next month. I think, Pam, you guys are covering how to make more money or how to land higher paying clients, right?
Yes. So Elise Bennon and I are going to talk about pricing, how to find clients that will value you and pay you well, and how to present yourself, how to raise your fees with existing clients, and all kinds of good stuff like that.
Excellent. Talking about money.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much again, and we'll see you next month. In the meantime, just keep writing, keep building your business, keep doing, keep moving forward, and let's make 2020 your best year yet.
Ever.
Bye, guys. Bye, Pam. Thank you, Fran and Jay. Appreciate it. Bye, guys.
Yes, thanks, guys. Bye-bye.